Hey everyone, welcome to Codex. This is Mike. I messed up. Apologies for this episode going out late. It's been crazy. The holidays, things are going nuts, but I wanted to send you a personal message and let you know I'm sorry for the lateness of this episode. This episode's fun though. We talk about gift nostalgia. Little nostalgia cast going on right now. We want to hear your nostalgia stories as well. So if you want, you could email us at codexhistorypodcast.com or tweet at us and let us know like the holiday video game gifts that you remember. We want to know your stories. And with that, here we go. Happy holidays. Welcome to Codex, a history of video games. I'm Mike Coletta.
And I'm Tyler Osby.
And today we're doing something a little different. We're going to go down nostalgia lane today.
Nostalgia lane is my favorite lane.
There's a lot of traffic on nostalgia lane. We're going to be here a little bit. I'm excited for it.
But I don't remember it for the traffic. I just remember it from all the friendly faces I saw in other cars on nostalgia lane.
That's a good point. It's a very good way. We really ran this metaphor into the ground. Let me tell you that much. Oh, man. But yeah, we're just going to kind of talk today about memories of getting gifts. And then hopefully you can share with us your memories of your best video game gift, you know? And I think we should open it up to like holidays, obviously, but also maybe like birthdays, or if you have cool friends that buy you gifts, hold on to those friends so tight, but also share it with us.
Oh, so you say gifts, like presents.
I
heard gifts, and so I had brought a whole bunch of gifts that I wanted to share. And then I realized we were an audio podcast, and it's going to be very hard to show gifs. So I like your idea better.
Is Surprise Kitty. Now, you'll notice the lady's hands. If you don't know what GIF I'm talking about, look up Surprise Kitty and thank me after you watch it.
That's just the whole podcast is like. If you haven't seen it, just look it up.
Just look it up. It's so good. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I can go first because I was thinking the first gift I remember getting that was video game related is I got a Sega Genesis.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, no, it was really dope. It came with Sonic 2, and then for some reason I also had Batman Forever, the movie tie-in game.
Okay, so we're looking at like 1995-ish, 1994?
Yeah, I'm looking up Batman Forever right now for Sega Genesis to just kind of get in the mood, in the headspace. Yeah, because it was kind of doing this thing where it was like trying to look like, it was like the arcadey style where the people kind of look like they're live action from the movie, but not really. Looks kind of weird. I don't want to say bad. I want to say different. That's what I want to say. That's what I remember anyway.
Mm-hmm. Are they doing that like Donkey Kong Country thing where...
Yeah, they're trying to, but I don't know if it really... I mean, I remember playing it so much. I had so much fun, you know, because Two-Face has his goons, and the Riddler has his goons, and I think you could play as Batman or Robin.
Well, I remember all games are fun when you're a certain age. Like, nothing is unfun.
Every game is perfect when you are like 9 or 10 years old, like I was when this happened. Everything was perfect. Actually, I think I was younger than that. Maybe like 7? I don't know. But yeah, this game is like, this system was like really memorable, but there was a game that was super memorable for it for me. And of course I say it's memorable and I can't remember the name of it, but you were like soldiers and you were doing turn-based battles. Like, and it's kind of like Worms. Like you'd throw a grenade. Mm-hmm. And then the other team would have a turn. It would go back and forth, back and forth. I'm looking it up right now because it's going to bother me. I'm going to do it right now. Do you have a thing, like a memory from this? Did you ever get like a Nintendo or anything? Like a Super Nintendo or anything?
Yeah. Well, my Super Nintendo I got for it must have been 1996, would have been my 6th birthday. And I got the pack-in Donkey Kong Country version. So it was a Super Nintendo that came with Donkey Kong Country. That's why I never had Super Mario World. I think I've said this before on the podcast before. I've owned a lot of Nintendo consoles, but never owned the like corresponding Mario game. That's why I got Donkey Kong Country with my Super Nintendo, and it was awesome. And I held on to the box for a really long time, but ended up eventually getting rid of it. I kind of wish I still had it now because it would be really fun to look at. But I don't remember anything specific about getting that. I was a little bit too young to still have like great memories of it. I mean, I have great memories of Donkey Kong Country, and like I love that game, but I don't have any of the gift giving event specifically. One that I do remember fairly vividly although my parents might tell me that this ended up going down differently. But one year for Christmas, this must have been 1998, my brother and I both got Game Boy games. We both unwrapped them at the same time, and my brother got Pokemon Blue version, and that we were jazzed on that, super stoked. And then I had gotten Zelda Link's Awakening, which is a great game. But when we kind of realized that, like with Link's Awakening, there's multiple save files, so we could kind of share the game. Like that's kind of how smart parents will do this thing where they will buy gifts for their kids that they can sort of share, right? And so my parents did that. And so we could share Link's Awakening, and we both played it, and we had a good time, but it was kind of a bummer with Pokemon because we couldn't really share it because it was such like your Pokemon, there's only one file, and it's such a like personal thing that you don't really want to like have somebody else playing with your Pokemons. So
oh yeah, because you only have one save, right? It'll override it otherwise.
Right.
Oh
and
man,
like, you can't have two people playing on the same save because like that's kind of weird. It's just Pokemon is a very personal game in that sense, right? Your journey is your journey, not your and your brother's journey. So
that's right.
So shortly after, I don't know how long after, but it was fairly quickly after Christmas. My parents took me to Target and bought me Pokemon Red version, and then I was a little bit behind my little brother, but that was okay. We had a lot of fun. We played those games into the ground and back for years, like just kept going on them. But yeah, I remember being like, and I was like really stoked because Link's Awakening was great, but it wasn't necessarily a game that I had asked for Christmas. I don't even know if I knew it existed at that time. I did have Ocarina of Time at that point in time. So, like, I guess my parents were like, oh, he likes Zelda on Nintendo 64. He'll probably like it on Game Boy too. And that was a good assumption. That game's awesome and I still love it. But I was more excited for my brother to get Pokemon than I was to get Zelda. So that's what I remember about that Christmas anyway.
Oh man, you know what? Two things. One, I feel bad for your parents because they thought that you were bringing you both together, and then really they tore you apart on accident. Thus is the nature of video games. But I just found the name of that game.
Oh, yes. What's the game?
It is called General Chaos.
Wow.
And so in this game, you play as like a squad of soldiers, and there's another squad of soldiers, and you direct them along the map, kind of like turn-based, and they attack. So it's kind of strategy and tactical too. But the big thing that I just read about this game that I had no idea, I spent hours playing this game with my brother. Like we played this game so much, but it actually had it was received really well. Electronic Gaming Monthly, remember that magazine?
Yes, I do.
I miss you so much. 8 out of 10.
Wow.
And they called it the ultimate one-on-one fighting game. But here's the sad news. On September 6, 2013, Brian F. Collin, who I think is the person that designed the first game initially, started a Kickstarter campaign to fund the sequel, and it fell short by over $100,000.
Oh no!
Yeah, so my dream is dead. I just wanted
That's
to share
so
that with
sad.
everyone. But this game was great. It was definitely like you had like gunner. Yeah, there's a gunner, a rocket launcher, a grenade guy, and then a flamethrower guy, and then they called him a blaster. It's like similar to a grenade, but he threw dynamites instead. He wasn't as good, okay, as all the other classes, but it was like so fun because it was just kind of that one of those games where you could just play it for hours and hours on end, and you kind of figure out your own strategy that worked for you. And it was just like me and my brother going head to head, you know?
Yeah,
lots
and
of fights.
This was like the days before the internet too. So, well, not before the internet, but like before the internet was really a big thing where you couldn't go online and like look up the strategies. You had to like develop these strategies yourself, you know?
Yeah, you had to figure it out. And also it had this really funny, like cartoony visuals to it. So even though it was like war and violence, it was like cartoony. So it didn't seem too terrible. It was really more of a strategy game than anything. Looking back on it, I'm like, oh, I was playing like a real-time tactic game before I even knew what that was, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome.
I think all of my, like, when I say all of my, I had two, and it's only because one of them broke. We got Nintendo Entertainment Systems, the NES for everyone keeping track at home. And I think we both got it. We got both of them at like weird auction things. Like I want to say one was like a church auction and one of them was some sort of like booster club thing. Like someone clearly was tired of their old Nintendo because we got them like after we had the Genesis.
Yeah.
It was like, might as well double down. And I think we got it for like $20 or something like that, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now it's so valuable, though. Oh, blowing in the cartridges. Could it get any better? I don't think it could. That memory alone, that's like something that everyone can connect to.
Yeah.
You know?
And apparently you're not supposed to do that because You can corrode the contacts with your spit.
That's right. You're not supposed to do that. Yeah. You got to make sure it's real dry breath. Okay.
Yep.
From far away. Or you could just buy a can of compressed air. That's really what you should do, if anything.
Yes. That is definitely the best way to do that.
But then I think the next memory I had is I got my N64 for Christmas.
Ooh, you got it for Christmas?
Oh, yeah. Did you get it for Christmas too?
I got it for my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah. Tell me your Christmas story.
Okay. I was very much like Nintendo kid, but not being filmed. It was exactly like that. I opened it. I
64.
freaked out and I couldn't do anything until my mom helped me set it up and I was playing it. And we had Mario Kart. That was the game it came with. It was after it was after the first release of it because it didn't come with Super Mario World. It came with Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I was a year later of it coming out. But man, that game was fun. And my mom would play it with me too. She would play Mario Kart with me. I have very fond memories of my mom playing Mario Kart and me being like, "You're doing it wrong, God." Classic video game nerd kid was me. But yeah, you got yours for your birthday. Did you have a freak out moment like that? Did you start like losing it?
I don't think so. I want to say that it was for my 8th birthday, so that would have been 1998. Could have been 97 based on the games that I got, but I think it was 98 because I feel like I went a while without having one, knowing that they existed and just not having it. But when my parents gave it to me, they gave me the game. Mario Kart was the game that they gave me with it, but they had me unwrap the game first. And then maybe this could be a misremembering because this was a long time ago, but I think they let me kind of stew in that for a minute of like having the game and not having the thing. And I was very polite and like didn't want to make them feel bad by saying, well, now you have to get me a Nintendo 64 basically. But I didn't really know quite how to approach that situation. But then they brought out the Nintendo 64. They knew they were trolling me. It was good. It was all good fun.
Dude, I love a good parent gift troll.
Yeah.
One year, my mom got me toothbrushes in her stocking for me and my brother. I'm like, that is a not so subtle hint that your sons have stinky breath. It's rude. Hear me, Jackie? I'm upset. Still am upset about it. Still remember. Scarred my childhood. I think I got Game Boys as a gift. That was definitely something I got, but I want to say they were birthdays. I had a Game Boy Color, which I then let my brother's friend borrow and lost it. Big mistake. Life lesson learned.
Don't let people borrow stuff.
Don't let people borrow stuff, especially if you're a child. You know, as an adult, you have better idea of who's responsible and who's not. But this person, they said it was like stolen, but I think they just lost it and they didn't want to fess up to it because we were all children, you know. It also had Super Mario Golf in it for Game Boy Color, which was really good.
Oh, that was the RPG one, huh?
Yeah, it was so good and I was loving it. And then I think it was like, because I had the Game Boy Color for a couple years and it was like never leave my side, you know. And then my mom got me a Game Boy Advance for the next birthday a couple years later or something like that. And like, because pretty much I was in the childhood where I would only ask for either Lego sets or video games.
Yeah. That was basically me too.
Yeah, anytime I didn't get a video game console, I got a Lego set. And looking back on it, I'm like, wow, that was really expensive for my parents. I really should thank them and owe them.
I cannot believe how much Lego sets cost and cost back in the day too. Like you'll get like, oh, I'm like, maybe I'll get a Millennium Falcon. I'm all Star Wars festive right now, you know. Like maybe I'll get a Millennium Falcon. It's like $400.
Yeah, it's not cheap. I actually was looking in the Lego store the other day because I was looking for my nephews, you know, like, oh man. And I'm like, well, looks like they're getting clothes because I can't afford a Lego system.
That's how kids end up with socks, is because Lego is charging too much for their Death Stars.
And then their broke, lazy uncle can't get them a Lego set, and I have to go resort to clothing somewhere. I got to go to Target or something and try to find a superhero T-shirt or something. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Lego sets still, though. I actually was thinking about it because I was looking at Legos, and I was like, oh, this box, like size-wise, I'm like, $20. And it's like, nope, 50. You're like, oh, okay, that's what Legos are. If you pick up a box of Legos, and you're like, this is probably going to cost this much, add $20 or $30 to it, and that's the price of it.
Yeah.
That's the lesson learned.
And for the really, really big sets too, like obviously this wasn't realistic when I was thinking this, but I was like, I'm going to buy a Millennium Falcon. It'll be like $50 or $60. And even that, I was like, that seems kind of expensive, but it's Lego, so it's probably worth it. And then it turned out to be so much more expensive than that. Actually, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Millennium
By the way, actually,
Falcon.
I should say to our listener too, we're taking this step down nostalgia lane because I actually moved into a new place recently, and I'm finding all this old stuff. So I am in a very nostalgic mood. I hope that's okay to our listener. All right, but what we're encouraging you this episode. We really want you to contact us and send us your nostalgia moments, and then next episode we can go over your nostalgia moments. I think that'd be fun, right?
Yeah, that sounds great. So Millennium Falcon is $159, which is very expensive,
Wowzers.
but not quite the $400 that I had.
You know, you gotta have a little hyperbole in life, okay?
Yeah,
Because what is
yeah.
it if not to pretend and embellish a little bit?
That's right.
Okay, it's fun. But I actually remember the next time I got a game console, I was in high school, and it was the original Xbox. And it was Christmas, I think. Because, yeah, it was Christmas. I got Halo 2. Oh, so great.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And that was like, would you say Halo 2 was like the end of the life cycle of the Xbox?
Yeah, 2004. So it would be, because the following year is when the 360 would come out.
Yeah, and I didn't get a 360 until I was well into college. I want to say like 6 years later. I had kind of that video game dark age I talked about. You know, if anyone here is keeping track of our A&E biographies at home, let us know. Which is all, by the way, that's a lie too. I found out A&E, the network, all they do now is they just love crime. They just show
True
like
crime.
Yeah, it's live. It's like live police, 24/7. I'm like, you're just reinventing cops. Everyone can see what you're doing. Okay, this is off the rails, but yeah, I remember Halo 2, and then the game I played the absolute most on my original Xbox was Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Hands down.
That's a fantastic game.
I didn't even know that those kind of games existed until I went to a friend's house, and he had it, and then I saw the Game of the Year edition later on the road for like $20. And it legitimately changed my life as far as like RPGs go. You know, I've been an Elder Scrolls fan, obsessed ever since. Can't handle it. Can't handle how much I'm excited. I'm really excited for the new one too.
Yeah, me too. That's still a little ways away, right? We haven't really heard much about it.
Oh yeah, we haven't heard. We just know they're making it. And then that lady that plays Skyrim on YouTube, Skyrim Grandma, I think is what she's called.
Grandma Shirley?
She's in the game. Yeah.
She's in Elder Scrolls 6?
They 100% announced that they made her an NPC in the game. So she actually went and did mocap so they could get it right. And she's in the game, which makes me so happy. Yeah. Like little things like that in video games make my heart swell, you know? It's beautiful.
Yep.
I think in Destiny 1, there was a big fan of the game that passed away, and Destiny actually gave their character something or named something in the game after them, I want to say. It was really nice, though. It was really touching. I like those kind of things in games.
James Gallerhorn.
This is my friend, Bob Patience and Time. It's like, wait a second.
Wait a minute. So I do have a Game Boy, a little bit of a Game Boy. Yeah, it's not so much a story, just a memory. I got my first Game Boy. It must have been, I've been triangulating the release dates of the different consoles I got and trying to account for time in between them. So in 1995, Nintendo came out with a line of Game Boys called the Play It Loud line. And they were all in these were the big fatty old timey Game Boys. But they had a bunch of different colors. So there's like a red, blue, yellow, green, and black, I think. And then there was like a clear plastic, because remember, this was that period of time where clear plastic was like very cool. And
it still is, if you ask me. I don't even care what you say.
And so it must have been Christmas of 1995 that I got one of those. But I got it. It came in a plastic like case kind of thing that like sort of open and closed. It's very cool. It came with its own carrying case that opened up. You had the Game Boy in there, and then it had like slots to hold various different games too. So you could probably hold like 6 or 7 games in there, and it maybe held a couple accessories too. But it was very awesome, and it came with maybe it didn't come with it, but I also got Super Mario Land, which is to this day one of my favorite Super Mario platformers. So that is one system that I did get the corresponding Mario game for, was the original Game Boy. And
wait, go ahead. Sorry, I just found something that's going to excite you, but keep going. Keep going.
The other half of that is when I went to. So I was when I was a little kid, we were babysat, or we went to like a daycare that was at these people's houses. They're very nice people. We still keep in contact with them today. they lived very near us, and they had another kid who was like the exact same age as me. And I went there then like after Christmas, and I came in there with my Game Boy, and I was all excited because we had both wanted Game Boys that year because his aunt had a Game Boy and she shared it with us, and she was the cool aunt who shared her Game Boy with us. And so we both wanted Game Boys for Christmas, and when I showed up to like show him my Game Boy and how happy I was, he also had a Game Boy, and it was awesome. And we played our Game Boys together and had so much fun.
That's a great day. That's a great childhood memory.
Yeah.
So what I found when you mentioned the Play It Loud campaign, I wanted to look this up a little bit. So you know how, like, it's like Crayola crayons. Like, they can't just call it green or yellow. They have to put a thing in front of it. So it was deep black, gorgeous green, radiant red, vibrant yellow. But for the transparent kind, it was called high-tech transparent.
High-tech transparent.
Yeah, because it's really high-tech. If you can see through it, that means it's super high-tech. I think we can all agree on that.
I think we can definitely agree on that.
The crazy thing I found is there was a red Play It Loud Game Boy with the Manchester United logo on it. Like, they made a deal with Manchester United to sell more Game Boys.
That's so cool.
I wish they would do that with more things, you know?
Yeah.
But fantasy stuff, like Lord of the Rings. Give me a Lord of the Rings Xbox. That's what I want.
They do have that Mountain Dew Xbox that I kind of want to get.
Oh, every time there is a ad promotion for Taco Bell to win a Taco Bell Xbox, I am going to Taco Bell every day. It's really unhealthy
that Taco Bell
me.
box?
I'm buying the double chalupa box. Oh, man. One time I bought it and it didn't come with the box. I was so hurt.
Oh, man, that's a real bummer.
It's a real hot bummer. But yeah, no, Game Boys were great. For a Game Boy Advance, I had the really awesome remake of Super Mario World, which I still own.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a
very good remake.
Also, I had, and I still have this cartridge too. I found it in my bag of stuff that I brought with me over here because I emptied my mom's storage locker out. So all of my old nerd stuff's in there. But I also found Heroes of Might and Magic 3 for Game Boy Color.
Very nice.
Which is actually kind of like a rare game.
Oh,
Not
really?
to brag or anything. Yeah, like it could actually sell for over $5, which makes it to me a rare game. Yeah, it's pretty neat if you ask me. But, and then I think that kind of covers like my video game childhood of gift giving though. I think I remember it fondly on like the when you couldn't sleep the night before, whether it was your birthday or Christmas or Thanksgiving, whatever, Halloween, whatever your favorite holiday, like that feeling is what I feel like I'm still chasing in like video. Like I get that feeling now when I like beat the raid in Destiny 2. That's what I get. That's where I get that feeling again.
Yeah, you didn't require much as a kid, but now I need more and more.
Yeah,
to feel the same
definitely.
feeling.
Chasing that nostalgia dragon.
It was just that the whole like the wide open possibilities of like I just didn't even know what existed. Even like, you know what I mean? Like you get the thing and you didn't even know that it was what you wanted, but now in this moment you know that how could I have ever wanted anything else?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was like for Morrowind and me when I went to a friend's house and I was like, what is this game where you have a sword and you just explore? This is crazy. Yeah. And it's also so hard. Morrowind is hard. I don't know how I figured it out or didn't like get frustrated and walk away, but there's no instructions. It's like you got to go east, west, or north, follow the directions on the note. There's no compass, there's no fast traveling.
Dang.
They have these like mark and recall spells so you can mark a place and then go back to a town, but then you still have to walk one way. Like you can't you can't just like fast travel between, you got to walk all the way there one way. So but yeah, that's so fun. Anyway, this was going to be a shorter episode this week because of the holidays.
I do have a couple more.
You have a couple more? Oh, great. Excellent.
They're all Donkey Kong related. So these are fairly quick, but
that's exactly what the people want. You know?
So for Christmas, must have been 96 or 97, I got Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3 at the same time.
Oh, you made me remember my same time story, but you keep going.
That's it. That's really it. I got them both, and I was so stoked. Donkey Kong Country 2 is the best, but they're both awesome, and I just remembered being so happy that I had gotten them both at the same time.
Dude, that happened to me. I think it was my birthday, and we were like rushing for some reason, and my mom's like, I'll make you a deal. I won't wrap your present or something and then save it. I'll just take you to the store the day of your birthday and you get the game you want. And then I was torn between Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and Super Smash Brothers both for N64. She got me both. She got me both games.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
That's right. No, Jackie, great mom, world's best mom. I forgive her for giving away my N64
and for giving you a toothbrush for Christmas.
Genesis, and for giving me a toothbrush for Christmas. That moment alone, because it was like I would get done with Tony Hawk, and I'm like, oh, I should probably stop playing this now. And it's like, but I got Smash Brothers. I went like back and forth for 8 straight hours. It was really unhealthy now that I think about it. No, that's so fun though. Gosh, please send us in your video game moments. Email us at codexhistorypodcast.com. Whoa, wow, okay. codexhistorypodcast@gmail.com. I'm just making up websites now. This is fun. But also you can tweet at us at SneakerElf or at Mecoletta, MECOLETTA. And you can rate and review, subscribe to us. We're not done yet because we got to do the What You've Been Playing segment. But I wanted to do it. We got 2 new reviews. Can I do the reviews right now? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. So we actually are up to 50 now. This is a big day. We got to talk about that.
The big 5-0.
Big 5-0 reviews. So the first one is from on Sunday. It was from Stoned Fiction. It says 5 stars, fantastic commute listen. Great job, guys. Easily my favorite thing to listen to on the way back from the gym at night. Would love to hear one on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Crazy Taxi. Wow. Ooh. That's actually 2 really, I'm adding those to the list. Both of those are great. I have other recommendations, but let's start there. Also, what are you guys' favorite video game soundtracks? Snake Eater is a forbidden choice, he says, ? And that's from Terrence.
What a
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite video game soundtrack?
Favorite video game soundtrack?
I'm actually really partial to just the theme from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Like, that just gets me so amped.
Dang. That's a good choice.
Yeah, so I don't want to sing too much of it. I don't want to give away everyone. But also, they redid it for the Wii version of Punch-Out, and it's with, like, trumpets, and it's really great. It's also really motivational.
Awesome. I think for me, it probably got to give it to Donkey Kong Country 2, mostly because Sticker Brush Symphony is just a perfect video game song. I also love the Metroid Prime soundtrack, especially the Talon Overworld theme. That is, I just love it so much. And then as far as like feels go, the Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack is not, I don't know if I want to say it's like good by objective standards, but it like just makes me so happy. And the composer of that also did the soundtrack for, I'm pretty sure he did the ukulele games, but also Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. He did the soundtrack for that. And like, so when I was playing that, I was getting real strong Banjo-Kazooie vibes playing Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So highly recommend. Grant Kirkhope, I think, is who does that.
That's a really good question. We could do a history podcast on the history of video game music and how it's changed throughout the time. Sure. It's almost the holidays. I am checked out like, whoa. I don't know about you. I'm having a real tough time focusing on anything.
It's been a rough week.
The second review, though, from Erical in WW says, love it. 5 stars. Love the podcast. Always gets me to laugh, and I learn something every episode. Keep it up. Thank you, Erical.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. I don't know how much they learned this episode, although they did learn about the Play It Loud campaign, so I guess you did learn something. Mm-hmm. Okay? Look at that, being all educational and stuff. But yeah, I think, so the plan is next week we're trying to have an episode, but we can't make any guarantees. I think that's kind of what we're saying.
Yeah, it depends, because I'll be driving to Los Angeles from Washington, and there's like snow treacherous along the way, and it's just, we can't commit to anything, but we will try.
Worst comes to worst, you'll get another 5-minute podcast from me saying we're sorry and that we love you. Yeah. That's what you'll get for the holidays. And then we'll just jump back into it after the holidays, the week after that. But what you been playing, Tyler?
So I've been trying to grind out my Destiny bounties. Got to get my Osiris bucks from Osiris. And I actually got back into Civilization 6 because I saw somebody on my Steam friend list playing it, and then I was like, that sounds really fun. And so I booted it up on my iPad, and man, that is the best way to play Civilization is on the iPad.
Oh, you just watch TV while you play it?
Yeah. And
That's great.
I played last night. I was watching the Democratic debate in a little picture-in-picture box while I played some Civilization. It was fantastic. But other than that, I had a pretty big work week that has dropped off very significantly now that it's like I'm going into a 3-week break, which is going to be pretty nice. So I'm hoping to play lots of games. And on the docket, I got to finish Link's Awakening. I got to finish World of Final Fantasy. I'm going to start up Fire Emblem, the Three Houses. Very excited about that. And we'll see where it goes from there.
Nice. Well,
what have you been playing?
I actually picked up a little bit of Stellaris. Remember when I was talking about that?
Oh, yeah.
So I played it with some buddies. That was really fun. I didn't get to play for too long. Like I got to kind of set up my situation, civilization, and then I had to go to a show. So I played like an hour and a half tops, maybe. That was really fun. And I have been solo Destinying a lot this week. And it's nothing against you, Tyler, but I have had the itch to grind out, and I got Buzzard and I got Python.
Nice.
The 2 ritual weapons. So I felt pretty good about that. I also, no big deal, saved Saint 14. So just throwing it out there. I'm
That's
kind of
great.
a hero. Everything's great. But yeah, I'm home for the holidays this year, and so I'm going to be playing a lot of games, I think. Hopefully a lot of Destiny, getting that caught up. Because I kind of have been just in the mood to just like turn on some podcasts and play Destiny. And it's nice.
Yeah,
it's a nice thing
great.
to do.
It's a good grindy thing
did
to
do
listen to
something
podcasts.
though.
What did you do?
I downloaded Jurassic World Evolution for free for Xbox Games with Gold.
Oh,
and I
my
do plan
goodness.
on playing that because I just love me some dinosaurs. I just want to play games with dinosaurs. That's all I want to do.
That makes sense. I'm down with that.
That checks. That clocks. Everything's good. But this has been a fun time, Tyler. I'm glad we got to do this. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming next week, if not the week after.
Yep.
But I just wanted to do a little holiday edition.
Yeah. Oh, I got one more bonus story before we go.
Ooh, that's nice.
Christmas 2000, I got Donkey Kong 64 for Nintendo 64. That's fine. The game was received mixed reviews from critics. I loved it, but I was also 10 years old, so I loved everything.
Also had an expansion
But
pack too, right?
It did. It came with the expansion pack. Funny story about that expansion pack is they didn't really know why, but the game wouldn't work without the expansion pack. They didn't design it around the expansion pack. They just couldn't get it to boot up without the expansion pack for whatever reason. And so rather than actually like fix the bug, they were trying to get this thing done so they could get it out the door. They decided to just include the expansion pack with every copy of Donkey Kong 64. And that got me an expansion pack. So that was pretty cool.
No, that's awesome.
But the story part of this is what I also received for Christmas that year was a pocket knife, because I had been in the Cub Scouts and my dad thought, well, this kid knows how to use a knife now. We should get him one. He's a grown man, 10 years old. He should have a pocket knife. So he got me a blue pocket knife that like folded out. It was very cool. I immediately cut my thumb with it, immediately, like minutes after getting it and getting it out of the packaging. And I cut my thumb.
Wait,
I still have
so
the
you
scar.
cut it on the packaging of Donkey
right-
Kong?
The packaging of the knife. Like I got it out and I think I started to open it. I started to open it and then I pushed directly on the blade to finish opening it, and I cut myself like a dummy because of course that's what happens when you push directly on the sharp part of a knife. And I bled everywhere. But that Christmas I remember because it was on my left thumb, right in the spot where you would use a Nintendo 64 joystick. And so I remember having bandages around my thumb and playing Donkey Kong 64, bleeding all over the controller. It was disgusting. We cleaned it up, but man.
So you actually put blood, sweat, and tears into Donkey Kong 64.
I truly did, yeah. Never beat it. Never did beat that one.
No, Donkey Kong 64 is actually why I got an expansion pack too, because a buddy of mine had the expansion pack already, bought Donkey Kong 64 and was like, do you want this? And I was like, sure. And I just had it.
Nice. It makes Perfect Dark way better. And
oh, no, for sure.
Because you can play Perfect Dark without the expansion pack, and it's fine, but it's way better if you have the expansion pack.
I think you can't have bots, or they limit the number of bots if you don't have the expansion pack.
Yeah,
how it works.
and it runs at a higher resolution too, I think. So it's just
So
better
cool.
graphics.
Game Facts. No, not that. That's a real website. Oh, no.
Game Facts.
Yeah, facts. Between that and the whole gift and gifts thing, we've really had a doozy of an episode this week.
Yeah.
But hey, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next week. You want to say bye to everybody, Tyler?
Goodbye, everybody.